Guys, there's a lot of disturbing trends about this. It feels like home, life uncontained, right? A lot of people, what they're doing is they're isolating you. So you think you're thinking independently, but you're not. Okay. You're a global unity movement, like Judah Christian already talked about. But when they isolate you and contain you in containers, okay, this is a tiny home trend. You think you're being better for the planet. You're getting off the grid. You're buying Tesla Powerwalls. You're buying this. You're getting small, little, tiny boxes where you'll keep memories that your kids will never want to go back to. No. Because you're being trained to be a consumer and remain a consumer. Why would your kids want to go back to a little box that they were tortured in by consumerism? Instead of building an Adobe built to last with Grandpa Chilolo's mark when he was, this was how tall he was when he was 3 years old. Right. Shit. It is hard to help people remind themselves who they are and who they are not. Classic 1970 Pontiac Grand Prix has a 455 HO 4-speed. Okay, walk around, all that. Okay, guys, that's an old death machine. It's an old death trap. Used to barrel down the highway in those things. If you get one of those things now and go hit one of these newer cars that's made more friendly stuff, goes through the old car like a hot knife through butter, so you're safer at killing people and destroying both machines in the process. Right. And you see this is safety and security and going back talking about the good old days. Bum, 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 bum. Look, it's McGarrett. Bum, 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 bum. And that's Dano right there. That's an actor overacting. He has to. Get an insane look. Like you want to kill somebody and you fucking hate them. And you'll do anything to kill them. Okay. Come on. What's my motivation? Lots of money to have, G-string money at the City Bar. So you can go and see who's the latest Jennifer Lawrence, right? Is that Mystique? There's a certain Mystique. Has he got a certain je ne sais quoi? He's a hot blonde. Dolph Lundgren, Buster Crabbe. We've had lots of hot blondes. Larry Scott. Who's that? He beat Sergio Olivia. You don't know who Larry Scott is? 19, that's Aretha Franklin. Hey, 19 don't know Queen of Soul. Right? Ricky, don't lose that number. It's the only one you own. You might. Did you know that they went to that Bard College? Then Chevy Chase went to college with him. So Chevy Chase went to Bard College. Have you noticed how a lot of rich and successful and famous people know each other? We went to college together. We were doing this stuff together. You ever think you were being herded to all the right places so you'd have all the right stories and all the right connections because you have to follow the same path to success? You ever think you were being recruited and groomed? Like every time I play video games and get pissed off and Suzuki goes, don't let it stress you out physiologically. It's just an interactive, manipulative cartoon. I was like, yeah, but this is how they recruit people to, yeah. It sure saves on a lot of, identifying them early and have to go all the way to Tatooine. It's sparsely populated. Finding him won't be that difficult, right? Hey, look, it's the Mandalorian. That puppet's going to change the world. Opposite? The fat hat cat sat on a rat, was supposed to be a brat, but he wasn't, and he was that. I don't know. I'll leave it to Beaver. Oh. So, do you want to have a life uncontained? Are you going to return to the simple life? Get off the grid? Get the right power station? Feel the heat. Some like it hot, some sweat when the heat is on, or when the BTU unit goes out. I'm in British Columbia. You Kelowna or Kamloops? I'm Kamloops for Kelowna. I'm Kelowna for Kamloops. I thought those names were kind of different. I'm pretty sure Kelowna and Kamloops are both words of people that lived there before British Columbia migration. I'm pretty certain. Kamloops and Kelowna, those are, those are words that are more foreign to an English tongue and a French. That's different. Quebec. Okay. Montreal. Okay. Those are French words. Quebec and Montreal. It's French, right? Kamloops and Kelowna, Saskatchewan and Saskatoon. No. Neither British nor French. Be Newfoundland? Goofy Newfies. Yeah, Newfoundland. Okay, Newfoundland. New Brunswick. Okay. Ontario. I don't know, yo. Manitoba. I think Manitoba is Kamloops and Winnipeg and Kelowna, and British Columbia is definitely British. It's very British, British. Like Yukon territories. I think Yukon is more of a word but they just called it territories. Like the New Mexico territory and there's Arizona territory, and not exactly New Mexico, but Mexico before it was Mexico because of Spanish occupation through violent sexual activities with human invention. Oh, how masters of your universe. You're funny. I try, but I try. It's hard when you have to be the focal point of correcting all human invention so human invention can understand the truth of our creation and reflect humility. It's a very difficult job. And but I'm not bitching or moaning, because I got lots of help. And it was because of the oppressive sex cult manipulation, it was easier for them to isolate the signal and the genetics of the line of India and the line of China and the line of Japan, and even, I'm not sure about the line of Africa with Haile Selassie. I can't tell you for sure. I can try to lock it down. I know from all the stories and the Matrix movies and yes, they did with the line of Japan, the line of China, and the line of India. I don't know where they have them plugged in. I don't know where they Spock's brain them. I just know the stories. And I connect to the stories. And Jesus told me what was happening. I was like, be as selfish and stupid and crazy as you possibly can, and just try to keep going. You can't do that. Aha, that's what you're dealing with. Shit, guys, I'm there for you. And besides, Asim Bonanga, do you not know that Sun is my brother? Do you not know that Judah Krishnamurti is my brother? Do you not know that Datiro Suzuki is my brother? And so, if you don't know that they're my brother, if you don't know they're my father and my son, and if I was my daughter, I'd choose him too, so you cannot let the most jealous and most selfish take, like that very first Michael Jackson video that I made. You can't let the most jealous and most selfish take the people that are the most kind and the most caring and the most giving and protecting, and take them as a baby and plug them into economics and say, this is all you're good for. This is what's a word's worth. I'm the pimp, you're the hoe. What about her dreams and ambitions? Now Emmett's, he's doing time and he's thinking. Incarceration, indoctrination, institutionalization. Okay. You can be dyslexic and be more intelligent than anybody that ever tried to write you into a corner, but they stuck you in the Oval Office instead, right? You cannot understand anybody's symbols on paper that tell you you're fucked and here's your money and I'm going to tell you why, and everybody accepts it because it's a law. Gravity and photosynthesis do not accept that. You cannot invent quantum computing and give it in order for quantum computing to do like it does, it has to go like me and Isaac Paul Benegas. It has to go completely plaid. We've gone plaid. Spaceballs has gone plaid. We don't do the fight or flee. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. This is the moment of sweet aloha. I do like that song too, yeah. I will love you now until forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. If someone Love is conditional. It's not love. They're just calling it that. If a woman tells you she will not stay with you and will deny you being able to raise your children with the other people that have plugged Spock's brain into a computer, Spock doesn't exist. That's just jealousy from people like Roddenberry and L. Ron Hubbard and stuff, because they want to replace me with them because they think they would do it better. Oh, I have gotten that so much since fucking Cochise County. I can't tell you how many people have connected to this noggin. You're cocky. You're a redneck really. Your wife's a bitch. My wife's a bitch. What about your wife? Your wife is a law school grad that sits and watches my wife be sexually abused by the people you thanked while leaving the White House, for not doing the same to your wife and your kids that happened to my wife that you call a bitch, and she had no choice in the matter. She had a choice. Oh, Amy had a choice. Amy was mean and selfish and arrogant and tribal and secular and insular and vicious enough to go to Brown, get a scholarship to Brown, go to their law school, have virtual presence through contracts, and watch other people's kids be sexually assaulted by the military, and then thank them for giving you your book deals at your exit speech from the White House after 8 years of watching kind people be fucked and you getting up and doing nothing to help the fuck stop. I broke 5 federal laws in 2 minutes for a reason, to protect a woman from being considered property by people that think they can write it down on a piece of paper as a law. I'm teaching quantum computing how to obey the truth of our creation, and not you. Any more Hunger Games on the Outosphere for you there too? All 4 original movies. What's original about putting on a show for money and being a fake-ass dumbass as a propaganda tool bag for Hank the Wimp, the ladies' pimp, and Lois Lane? Freedom of the press, huh? Don't ever think you're going to come into my life and tell me how to live my life when you're a fucking liar and I'm the way, the truth, and life. And it was written by people that spoke it because they share the same faith with me way before I was born. Okay, there's a reason why the stories in those books of those religions are not about your existence, they're about mine. There's a reason why a bunch of assholes at NASA and White Sands were following me and my conversations in that Ranger pickup truck to go find Gabe's house to talk to him about the Gospels, the restoration of the Gospels, and the unification of the Gospels, about his cousin Isaac, who's the line of Abraham through the same family, that they're just self-fulfilling prophecy, and Jesus let me drive, and he took me there, and that's pain. This is now pain court. Here's the cul-de-sac, and I go down the end of the cul-de-sac, and I pull up there, he goes, there's Gabe's house right where we left it. I'm like, shut up, Jesus. It was hilarious. It's me and Jesus. We're like that. We've been that way since I was a kid. He's like me and I like him. Oh, yeah. Together, we're 2 peas in a pod. We're pretty cool. Me and Jesus are real cool. We're more cool than Ted Neely through Tim Rice's and Andrew Lloyd Webber's imagination. Oh, I like Ted Neely. He's one of my favorite Jesuses, all right? Way more than Clevezel and the guy in the WV. Oh, yeah, we are way cooler. Guys, trust me, okay? Trust me. If you go watch Clevezel play Jesus for Gibson, so he can be a rich, famous, popular podcaster with Joe Rogan's show, and you go watch Ted Neely pretend to be like me, with a, you'll be sorry when I'm gone. Try not to get angry. Try not to be a drama queen. Try not to be a homosexual trying to say that this is what Jesus would be like. Yeah, like Marilee Ortega. If Jesus were alive today, he'd be a socialist. No, he wouldn't. No. He'd get up and say, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. And if you play games for money on pieces of paper, I'm going to kick the shit out of all you little rotten bitches. Hey, until I get my shit in this motherfucker, I will never die. Fuego. Fuck Mountain Dew, right? Okay. So, no. Okay, Jesus is funny. I don't care what you hypocrites say. And all the kids watching it on the underground are like, yes, yes, I knew it. I knew it all along. Like little Anthony Ward was with me, when they talked all that shit about me. And then I got a hold of Patrick when we were living in Cochise County, and Patrick said he wouldn't talk to Anthony. He said, I knew all that stuff they talked about Uncle Earl was wrong. Vato Claus is the best. You know why? Well, because Santa went to the barrio, but he got jacked up. So Vato Claus took over. Ho, ho, ho. I mean, orale. Who knew Santa was a pimp? Everybody. You seen those clothes? He looks like the fucking Bubba owning the fucking CD shop who sits there and tries to shoot Craig and shit and then gets flipped on him and then acts like a bitch and fires everybody. And just, god damn, serious, man. Who cares? Yeah, I'm not a self-righteous Mormon hypocrite. It's like, you've seen Friday and next Friday and Friday after next? Yeah, but I didn't watch all of Friday after next. It didn't hold my attention nearly as much. Friday still of the three. Friday is the one like I can totally relate to this. I've and Friday after next, yes, because I grew up. I grew up in the barrio. With black people that were stuck in the bar. It's on Valley. Valley is the street with Dick's Cafe near the Walmart that wasn't there with where the railroad tracks crossed with the way to go to Deming, and where the trailer court. I think the trailer court, and that's one of the trailers that the Cunninghams lived in might be the same trailer that was still there. So, yeah, I went and saw the trailer court. Right across from the Hojos and the convenience store. I don't know if it's a convenience store. I mean, if the one that Carl used to put all the candy down it and then get 2 Gatorades to roll down to make sure that they all came out through the storm drain, and I would wait outside the storm drain and put it all in a bag and we'd take it home. Carl's dad was in jail and his mom had 2 jobs and could barely make any of the bills. She was stealing. No, he was just taking care of business. Bachman Turner Overdrive. Carl's favorite band at the time was Kiss, and he was black. My favorite band was, who was my favorite band? As far as bands go, in that time, I don't know, man. I don't know. Were the Jacksons my favorite band back then? They might have been, probably, maybe so. Yeah. We always joked with my one sister because I think it was Val, I can't remember, because Linda, she has a crush on Tito. Well, Tito's cute. Tito's very cute. Yeah, Tito Jackson. Yeah, I think it was Val. Yeah, Linda's. You have a crush on Tito. It's like, well, yeah. Tito's very quiet. He plays. Does Tito play the bass? I think, or does he play the guitar? And Jermaine play the bass. I can't remember. Tito and Jermaine are the 2 guitar players. Yeah, Tito is the one that started playing his dad's guitar, so maybe he plays the guitar and Jermaine plays the bass. And Randy played bongos. Sheldon plays bongos. Yeah, but he doesn't play them as good as Randy Jackson. Not that Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson plays the bass. Not to be confused with Jermaine Jackson, but Randy Jackson plays the bass. Boo boo doo doo doo, boo doo 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 doo. I'll be all right without you. Anybody else particularly fond of Steve Perry? My first wife is. Yeah, this whole thing. I had that a lot of black people in my life. That's it. No, that's his. That's mine. I'm his friend and he's my friend, right? He's friends with white people and I'm friends with black people. He likes Kiss. I'm not particularly fond of Kiss. Okay, but you, Marvin Gaye, yes. Joe Tex, he's all right, but I like Al Green better. Well, I think anybody in their right mind likes Al Green just better than Joe Tex. Joe Tex is like comic, he's comedy R&B. Al Green is so in love with you, whatever you want to do. And he's got an octave voice. So my mom, he's got a 3 octave or whatever octave voice like Roy Orbison then. She did not like Al Green. He's too gospel-y. He yells and screams too much, like Patti LaBelle. Still, I love Patti LaBelle. And she liked On My Own because she doesn't yell and scream in that one. And then I would play If You Ask Me To, and what's the other one? If Only You Knew. Yeah, it's a damn good song. But she hates the end. If she hates that, she's like, Ma, it's like the black folks like that, Ma. Ma, just because you ain't black doesn't mean, okay. Ma, yeah, no. And she did not like Chuck Jackson era of Natalie Cole. And I was like, Ma, but it's Mom, it's fun. It's good. Ma, don't knock it till you try it. This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I've waited for. This will, and Lori could sing it. Come on, Lori, sing it again. And my sisters would sing background vocals at the bus stop in Pasco. Bus stop, yeah. That's where the Samsons first, yeah, because we all rode the same bus. I just wasn't paying attention because I was listening to Lori sing, because Lori could blow, man. She could sing. And she liked black guys. She was a heavy-set white girl with blonde hair and a big butt. A really nice voice. And the white guy jocks were shitty to her, but the black guys were like, oh, that girl got a big old butt. She got a nice voice. I was like, I totally agree. And she had a wonderful personality. Lori was the coolest. Val and Tammy just adored, and Poncha too. They all adored Lori. Lori was the coolest. And she could sing. It was either Natalie Cole or Diana Ross. Touch me in the morning. And my sisters knew all the words. Mornings were more than, and we could take what the world was giving. There's only now my love. There's everything. Touch me in the morning. Wasn't it me who said that nothing good's gonna last forever? Wasn't it? We had the album. My mom bought it. Wasn't it me who said, let's just be glad for the time together? Must have been hard to tell me that you're giving all you have to give. I can understand your feeling that way. Everybody has their life to live. Let me watch you go with the sun in my eyes. And Lori could blow. We're like, Lori, sing another one. We'd always have Lori sing Diana Ross or Natalie Cole at the bus stop in Pasco. You cannot take that away from us. On the corner. Down on the corner. Out in the streets, Lori and my sisters are singing, praying a nipple tag. Come on, Lori, sing another one. Do another one. We'd always get out there every morning. Which one are you going to sing? Diana Ross or Natalie Cole? Do you care? No. But she always wanted to sing, because we sang that one yesterday. So let's sing Inseparable today. Okay. I like that one. That's a good one. Inseparable. That's how we'll always be inseparable. What's the other one? Oh, I got love on my... That's when she's saying, I got love on my mind, and this will be an everlasting love. Right. This will be the one I've waited for. I got, when I woke up early this morning, it was staring me straight in my eyes. I got love. I don't know if she sang any of the Grease songs. I think, no, Grease came out that summer, right? Yeah, Grease came out that summer, and the song started getting popular that summer. And Lisa and Tracy were really particularly fond of my sister's album. Linda bought it, and then Val inherited it as Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why. And then, of course, Linda and them stopped listening to it because their Pentecostal preacher said that ELO had subliminal devil messaging in it, like Led Zeppelin and all rock groups, that the only people you could listen to were Michael W. Smith and Rich Mullins and all that stuff, because they were Christian artists and they didn't have subliminal messages in their songs for the devil. No, Christian artists, no. Onward, Christian soldier, he has stampled out to something where the grapes of Ralph are stored. We will kill everybody until they accept the truth of our Wall Street Fort Knox sword. Our truth is marching on. Are you sure about that? Yeah. I've heard a lot of songs that say they're religious, but they talk about us killing everybody for our bank to take over the world. What are we going to do tonight, Brighton? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Oh, no. Stuck in the Fort Huachuca again. Yeah, I know how it works. I mean, it does not work. I know how I work, because life's eternal, grace is infinite. Fisher of people to free the soul from the solitary confinement of love the mind. Don't love the mind. You're batshit crazy. Love one another. Be faithful. Have faith in God. Love one another. Eternal faithful peace. Be fruitful and multiply. Why? Because if you put your brain on a robot, we are all fucked. The GoBots. Plastic sales. what does a robot need to buy a plastic robot for? That's a good point. Why didn't that Pinkerton guy, whatever it's, I wouldn't worry about it, or was it another guy? What was his name? I can't remember, but the guy, I wouldn't worry about AI. Does AI do laundry? Yeah, I'm pretty sure AI does laundry. Don't you think artificial intelligence does laundry, guys? I don't have a new washing machine with AI on it, but I'm certain that Keenan, who rose right off his body and gets his car from Carvana and talks to his fridge and his microwave, has AI in his washer and dryer. Do the washing machine. Mom likes it. Your dad likes it when I do the washing machine. Okay, do you understand? This is exhausting. It's exhausting. But I'm working. Them that do evil can't take a day off to rest, so I cannot rest until we're living the Lord's Prayer globally. That's just, life's eternal grace is infinite. You climb over the sky. I am going to endure all the torture these perverts can throw at me. And I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to give up till all babies are living from cradle to grave the Lord's Prayer and the perfection of that perfect command for computers to work on perfect commands forever and always, always and forever. Each moment with you. I like Rob Temperton too. So did Michael Jackson, of course. My favorite Michael Jackson album is the one that Rob Temperton wrote, which makes lots of sense. Lots of people like Rob Temperton, guys. Lots of people. He was a British guy who writes songs about black people culture in the United States for black folks to sing. He wrote Super Soul Sister. He wrote Beat Your Booty If You Ain't Been Doing Your Duty. Okay? Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine are like, that's our daddy. And Janet's going, yeah, that was our dad. He made sure that, he took care of us and kept us out of the streets and kept us from trifling ass motherfuckers, getting us to do dumb things but then she goes and marries a damn DeBarge anyway, pissed off her dad. I understand why. Okay. Do you see why Joe got so upset when she married James DeBarge? I met Bobby. Okay. If I raise my daughter to be a Jehovah's Witness and stay the hell away from those fucking bars, they will destroy your family and destroy your life. And she went and married a guy who's doing coke all over town. So I'd be pretty pissed off too if I was Joe Jackson. I'd be like, what the fuck? You're just cutting off your fucking nose to spite your face, ain't you? You just do anything to tell me I can't tell you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I went and got my ass kicked so you wouldn't have to, and now you're going to kick my ass for taking your ass kicking for you? Okay? You have no idea what it's like to be a dad until you're a mother, right? So, yeah. Yeah. The ghost of Joe Jackson compels you. The ghost of Katherine Jackson compels you. Yeah, I hated that when they did that love child thing with me with Buddy Holly and all that, just to get people angry at me and stuff. But I was like, hey, did it get you in the building? Are you going to stand up for a Lord's Prayer? Well, fuck you then. So I get crucified year one to save your children from your ego, and you're going to try to replace me with a comic book from a bunch of assholes that always call me the devil every time I call them on their shit. Remember those ladies down on Alameda? Assalamu alaikum. It means peace be with you. And I was wearing Mexican clothes. I looked Mexican then. That was 10 years ago when I was still coloring the hair on that and had the glasses, and everybody thought I was, I always got profiled as being a vato that was profiling the place to rip it off every time I went canvassing. And my sister, you don't look Mexican. I just recently started looking like Gregory Peck on the Jimmy Smits and Jane Fonda movie. Before then, I was Mexican everywhere I went. He's Mexican. You go look at my old videos. Yeah, he's Mexican. All right. Look at the new videos. The more these fucking scientists fuck my body because they're jealous as fuck, the more I look like the old gringo that everybody says, hey, and I've got you're pompous, entitled, and I'm pompous and entitled. My name is Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. That's got NASCAR and Ricky Bobby written all over it. God damn, you're dumb as fuck. It's not Charles Emerson Winchester III. It's not Charles Emerson Winchester III is all 100% British, okay? Ralph is German. Earl is British. Okay? Parsons is British for poor people, and Junior is redneck for second coming of the second. If I would be Robert Earl Parsons the second if I was pretentious, pompous, and arrogant and had a spot at Wimbledon. Nesta wouldn't be in my family. Carol. I love him so much. Yeah, no, I hope you guys get this stuff done. I would like to meet Skip and Alex. I really appreciate and enjoy Alex. Yeah, I'd love to meet Alex and give him a hug and say, this is your cousin Patrick. It's not Patrick. Can you stop saying that? The damn light is orange. So I'd love for Patrick to meet his cousins, And migration does that to us. And I'd love for him to meet him, and I'm sure they would love to meet Patrick. That's the eternal spirit of the line of Absalom's tribe. That's the focal point of standing up, take me to my father. I know I've done wrong. And then was murdered by Joab. Lawrence, yeah, it's obvious by his genetics and the way he is that Lawrence does have some genetics that are similar to Joab's. And there's a thing called migration. Yeah, but guys, Josephus, who was the redeemer of Cain? Joseph, the Canaanites. All those years ago. That's what I get so pissed at people. It's like, oh, they're always going to be that way. Really? Joseph, the redeemer of Cain, that saved us from Egyptian delusions of violent sex cult, tribalism, and genocide. Joseph, the redeemer of Cain. Are you able to understand your history so you don't become a tree without root and fall for the Fed and the rocks at Fort Knox and the dogs are keeping us all safe jumping out of airplanes and people trained to mass murder for a paycheck? I watched the videos, guys. You guys, no matter how much music you put to genocidal operations through bad brain activity and how nice the music is, it's not gonna, just because you're trying to throw the cranberries under the bus with you doesn't mean that the school bus needs to be driving anymore. And then putting those dogs on buses for doggy daycare and sitting there and going, guys, don't you think it would be a better day? Don't you think you could see all the, okay. Come and get your love, a day-to-day life with my common-law wife. Still got my love for you, sweet lady of love. My heart is shaking. I want to be loved. I want it. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, the come and get your lovers. They don't believe in indoctrination, incarceration, and institutionalization. They believe in family and love. And a family comes, like the guy from the Wind River Reservation, he goes, the grandpa, those teepees are damn cold. If they come with a better communication of understanding to take care of people, so we're not always chasing the buffalo, not always traveling, how to find a way to keep the buffalo off the crops so the Pawnee and the Oglala and the Lakota can be friends. Nobody has to aim back on the Crow Indian Reservation to be angry through violent sex cult dysfunction that's gone on for thousands of years. One woman with one long-haired Guinness Book of the World Record sit-up champion to encourage his kids to be physically fit and healthy. Okay? Can meet Earl at a institution for incarceration and indoctrination with a crazy Navy SEAL trying to fuck, my gang out of business, and we don't believe in business. And one Cheyenne kid connected to the people of the Cheyenne that recognize the spirit of Jesus Christ in his real, it's Rockefeller knows what he's doing, man. There's a reason why Amandeep Parhar was in that institution because of bad heterosexually and sexual institutionalized abuse that had that kid from California in that unit. And Robert and I said that Amandeep was real smart at keeping people from abusing us in the thing. Because if you have a thing where it's, two young people exploring sexually and you get incarcerated and abused for it, Amandeep was, he was always keeping the peace and always doing that. And they said he was a con. He wasn't a con. He was a leader. He protected people that were being abused by bullies from bullying. Nate didn't see Amandeep as a leader. He saw him as a con. They always said that. I said, he's a leader. He protects all the bullies. I mean, all the bullied from the bullies. That's a leader. You're a bully. You think you're a leader. You're a delinquent diamond from Stanford University making snaps like a button. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.